Hi, my name is Scott Cohen, and I'm the School Counseling Director here at Indian River High School. If you're watching this presentation, you are enrolling your son or daughter for the 2020-2021 school year. You can see that our motto is Braves are who we are, Rise is what we do. We encourage all of our students to be responsible, involved, safe, and ethical.
Hello, Braves. Welcome to Indian River High School. I am Naomi Dunbar, the principal, and I'm looking forward to working with you for the upcoming school year. Have a great summer.
In this presentation, we're going to cover a lot of information, specifically options for students for next school year, general information about our school and graduation requirements, how guidance works, how the school day works, of course, picking classes for next year. We're going to talk a little bit about sports and clubs, and then give you an idea of what the building looks like. Before we start, we just want to make sure everyone's using the same vocabulary. The school year is broken up into 2 semesters. Semester 1 is from September to January, and semester 2 is from February to June. The SOLs are our standard of learning tests, which are Virginia's end of course testing for core classes. A high school credit is when a student passes a class in high school, he or she earns a credit for each class passed. A verified credit is for students who take an SOL class, pass the class, and pass the test. They earn a verified credit. And the VDOE just stands for the Virginia Department of Education. Chesapeake is allowing students to pick one of 2 options for next school year. Option 1 says that students will spend the first 9 weeks online, and then if conditions allow, students will return to the school in November in some fashion, maybe 2 days a week, maybe 3 days a week, maybe even 5 days a week, just depending on what conditions allow. Option 2 is for students who want to commit to 100% online classes for the entire first semester. Both options mean that students will be logging in on a computer at designated times to have live instruction. Both options will have Indian River High School's students having Indian River High School teachers when possible. Students will have until December 15th to choose which option they want for second semester. During the slideshow, you're going to see some asterisks, and I just wanted to put those in there, which designates a little bit of a change from how we normally do things to how we're going to be doing them this year due to COVID-19. If you're coming here from a different state or from a private school or homeschool, please remember that graduation requirements vary from state to state and may be different from homeschooling or private school situations. We will make sure that we do everything we can that you earn all of your credits from your previous school, but we also want you to remember, even if you're coming from a city or county in Virginia, the graduation requirements are the same, but sometimes different school systems have students take different classes in different orders, so we may have to add a class or 2 to your schedule this year to make sure that you stay on track to graduate on time. Indian River High School is fully accredited, and for the class of 2019, which was a year ago, our graduation rate was almost 94%. For that school year, you can also see that our pass rate for English, math, and science state testing was at or above the state average. And I know some of you are saying, well, what about history? The data that I pulled just didn't have history listed, so that's why I did not include it in this slide. We are one of 7 high schools in Chesapeake, and about 10 years ago, our school was completely renovated at a cost of $44 million, which means our entire school, every square inch, was renovated. We are technologically advanced, we have lots of natural sunlight, and the building looks very, very beautiful, which excites the students and the faculty because we enjoy coming to work in such a nice building. We have about 1,700 students, and you can see we are as diverse of a school as you can possibly find. We're not only diverse in terms of what we look like, but we're also diverse in terms of what people do when they come to school. We have students that want to be involved in clubs, that want to be involved with sports, that want to be involved with the music program, and we have some students that just want to go to class and get the work done and then maybe work a part-time job after school. My point is, whatever you're interested in, if you come to Indian River High School, you're going to find people who share those common interests. You can also see that we're very diverse in terms of what our students do after graduating from high school. Roughly a third of our students go to college, a third go to community college, and a third go to the workforce or the military. For the class of 2020, which was our most recent graduating class, 43% of our students received an advanced studies diploma. You can see that I've turned off the camera so that way you can see the full presentation. Now that you know what I look like, you don't need to see me during the entire presentation. Talking about types of diplomas, there's really two types of diplomas in the state of Virginia, the Advanced Studies Diploma and the Standard Diploma. The Advanced Studies requires 26 credits and the Standard Diploma 22 credits. For students who have a 504 plan or an IEP, you can possibly earn the Standard Diploma with credit accommodations, which allows for some flexibility on those graduation requirements. Here's a breakdown of the graduation requirements for the rising 9th through 11th graders. You can see the two different types of diplomas, standard on the left, advanced studies on the right. It tells you how many credits you need for English, math, science, history, PE, and foreign languages. Also, for both diploma types, you must pass economics and personal finance, and you must have 2 sequential electives. For the current 9th through 11th graders, you also have to take and pass either an honors or AP course, or you have to pass an industry certification test. You can see again, the standard diploma requires 22 credits. The advanced studies diploma requires a little bit more for math, science, and history, and it does require a foreign language. The standard diploma does not require a foreign language. And for the advanced studies diploma, you have to have 26 credits. For verified credits, both the standard and advanced studies diploma only require 5 verified credits, 2 in English 11, and then 1 math, 1 science, and 1 history. I know you're saying, well, what if I'm a rising senior? The graduation requirements are pretty much the same, except for your verified credits. You do have to earn more verified credits for the seniors graduating in 2021. But remember, seniors coming from different states, homeschooling or private school will have reduced testing requirements per the state of Virginia, which will make your lives a little bit easier. To be promoted from one grade level to the next in Chesapeake, you must have earned 5 credits and be entering your second year of high school to be promoted to the 10th grade. From 10th grade to 11th grade, you have to be entering your third year of high school and successfully completed 10 credits. And then finally, from 11th grade to 12th grade, you must be entering your 4th year of high school and successfully completed 16 credits. This is our Indian River High School Counseling Department. You can see that we've already assigned all the counselors to the caseloads. Our counselors keep the same students for all 4 years. So if your last name starts with A through CR, you'll have Mr. Hargrove. Last name CU through HAR, we'll have Ms. Thompson. HAS through MC, Mrs. Jones. ME through SC, Mrs. Peterson, and last names SE through Z will have Ms. Potts. That's me in the bottom left-hand corner, Mr. Cohen. You already met me a little bit earlier. Mrs. Goodman is our student assistance counselor. Mrs. Izay is our secretary and registrar. Mrs. Saki is our access counselor. She specifically works with juniors and seniors who are college bound and need assistance with financial aid applications, college applications, or anything else to do with college. She does also work with 9th and 10th graders, but mostly juniors and seniors. And then finally, Ms. Estes, who is our SOL testing clerk. In guidance, we do a lot of academic advising. We do personal counseling. We also assist with college applications. For parents, we will organize parent-teacher conferences. We're a great resource or point of contact person when parents or students, if you're not really sure who to ask your counselor, and if we don't know the answer, we'll point you in the right direction. And of course, we can assist with Parent View and Student View. Synergy is the platform that we use for scheduling and grades, but for Parent View, parents, you will be given access codes that you can monitor your students' progress on a daily basis. Indian River High School is on a 4x4 block schedule. In fact, all Chesapeake public schools are on a 4x4 block schedule. This means that students take 4 classes each semester, and each class meets 90 minutes per block every day, again, during normal times, and the students would take a total of 8 classes per year. When we're not online, the school day starts at 8:55 a.m. and ends at 3:53 p.m. But remember, for at least the first 9 weeks, everyone's going to be all online, and your start and end times will be announced for you by your teachers and by the school. Class sizes average around 27 students per class, but some classes may be a little bit bigger and some classes may be a little bit smaller. Some classes may be all 1 grade level, such as English 9, while other classes, maybe like a Spanish 2 class, would have students from grades 9, 10, 11, and 12. Here's a typical 9th grade schedule. You can see again, there's a first semester and a second semester. Each semester, the student is only taking 4 classes per semester. So first semester, the student may be taking English, math, PE, and or science. At the end of January, those students will take final exams, turn in their books, say goodbye to their teachers, and then in February, they'll start 4 brand new classes. In a normal school day, we like to talk to students about cell phones, dress code, and some of the other things you can see on the slide. Of course, for next year, everyone's going to be online, so teachers will be working with students to talk to them about expectations for online learning for next school year. For students who are enrolling this summer, when you meet with your counselor to pick your classes for next year, all options will be discussed, and that includes what diploma you're pursuing and what your goals are for after high school. Now, there may be some students that are rising ninth graders who are watching this presentation and you went to Indian River Middle School or Greenbrier Middle School last year. Remember, you already picked your classes for next year. You did that back in February of 2020. The goal is to pick 8 total classes for those students who are enrolling this summer. Remember, when you're choosing classes, all of your classes have to include your core classes, but don't forget music, maybe AVID, special education classes if you have an IEP, ROTC, foreign languages. For our rising juniors and seniors, they can go to the Chesapeake Career Center if there is space available, and of course, all of your electives. So you need to make sure you're thinking about all 8 classes you want to take for the school year. Our goal for you is to pick classes that are not only going to help you be successful in high school, but for you to be better prepared for your goals after high school, whether it's college, work, military, or other. I talked about students are going to pick 8 classes and you have 4 in the fall and 4 in the spring. Some of our classes we want to be alternate day classes. For example, music and AVID classes, we don't want those students just to have those classes for one semester. So we do alternate those classes so the students have the class all year long. And you can see what classes alternate with our music and AVID program. We also want to make sure that students understand how we calculate GPAs because we get a lot of questions about this. For every class that you take, you're going to earn a final grade. That final grade is given a numerical value. We take all those numerical values, we add them up, and we divide by the number of classes you attempted in high school. For every honors class that you take and you're successful in, we add 0.025 to your overall GPA. And for every AP class that you take and you're successful in, we add 0.05 to your overall GPA. You have to pass the honors and AP classes to earn the weight. For students who are interested in sports, you must be eligible to participate in sports. Normally, there is a 2.0 GPA rule. For the first semester, Chesapeake is waiving that rule. But for rising ninth graders, they would also normally have to have a 2.0 from 8th grade, but that is not going to be in effect for the fall semester of this year. But students have to have passed 3 out of 4 credit-bearing classes from the previous semester if they're coming from a 4x4 school, or they have to have passed 5 out of 6 or 7 classes if they're coming from a traditional schedule. And this is a Virginia High School League rule. Talking about sports, you can see here we've listed all of our fall sports, our winter sports, and our spring sports, but the Virginia High School League in late July announced that fall sports this year only will be played from February to May, winter sports will be played from December to February, and spring sports will be played from April until June. So again, the schedule is a little bit different than a normal school year. We talked about clubs earlier. These are just some of the clubs that we have at Indian River High School. We're going to encourage all of our students to get involved with something. We know that we're going to be online, but we are going to make this available to you to get involved with our school. A lot of you may be interested in playing sports not only at the high school level, but you want to go to college to play sports. If you're a serious athlete and you would like to play college sports, you need to go to the NCAA Eligibility Center, ideally in your junior year or the very beginning of your senior year, and you would register with the NCAA. It's very important that these athletes let their counselors know that they are considering playing college level sports because we want to make sure you're taking the right classes that will make you NCAA eligible. What happens from here? Once your parents have completed all the correct paperwork and they've turned in everything that we need, we're going to review your folders from your previous schools, make sure we have all your records, and then you will set up an appointment to meet with a counselor. At the enrollment meeting, please make sure you let us know, do you have an IEP? Do you have a 504 plan? Are you interested in playing school sports? You will be picking your classes when you meet with a counselor, and final schedules will be mailed home in late August. Our goal is to get them in the mail on August 28th. Once school begins, all new students will be assigned a mentor through our student-to-student program. Again, we're going to be doing this online, but we just want to make sure you have another student that you can connect with in case you have questions about certain things about Indian River High School or how to get in touch with certain people. We want to make sure you have someone that you can ask those questions of that is maybe of your own age and in high school with us right now. Here's a map of the building, and you can see that we're all one floor, and that throughout the building there are two main hallways that go through the entire school. So I'm outlining them right here. The front of the school, where you can see this says student drop-off or visitor entry, and then the back of the school, that's where the buses pick up students. In one corner of the school we have the auditorium. We also have the cafeteria. And behind the cafeteria is where we have the art, technology, and culinary arts classes. At the top right, you can see where we have our main gym and auxiliary gym. And then the rest of the building is where we have all of our academic classes. Here's the front of the building. Again, we have a very modern look. We're excited about our school. We do want to note that when students return to school, we get a lot of students who are dropped off in the morning, and a lot of parents want to drop their students off right in front of the main entrance. To help with congestion in front of the school and on Dunbar, we ask that parents drive all the way up here and they actually drop off further up. We don't want parents stopping here because it definitely backs everybody up. We won't have to deal with that the first 9 weeks, but eventually when everybody comes back to school, if you can help us with that, that would be awesome. Here's the main entrance to the building. So if you are entering the building, maybe you do not ride the bus, this is how you would enter the building. Again, all of our doors are locked, so any parents or students who are entering after the school day has already begun would have to ring our doorbell, you would have to show an ID, and then you would be allowed to come into the building. As I said earlier, all of the doors are locked. The teachers have fob keys that will allow them to enter the main entrance. But again, for students and parents, you would have to ring the doorbell. Parents, you would have to show an ID to be allowed to enter the building. There is parking available for those students who can drive, sophomores, juniors, and seniors. If you have your driver's license and you purchase a parking decal, you can park in one of the student parking lots. This is the senior parking lot, which is right next to the football field. But remember, no one will be driving to school at least for the first 9 weeks because we will be all online. This is the back of the school where the bus ramp is located. You can see that the buses actually have assigned parking spaces. So when you are leaving for the day and you're trying to find your bus should be in the exact same spot every day, which will make it easier for you to find your bus and to get home in a timely fashion. When you enter the main school entrance, this is what you're going to see. Not necessarily these people, but you can see Mrs. Dunbar is there with some of her assistant principals. But this is a security desk where everyone has to check in, including parents, and you must show a form of ID. Our attendance office is located right behind the security desk by the main entrance. Again, during a normal school year, parents, this is where you would come to check your students in if they're coming late, or check them out if you're picking them up early. The main office is right across from attendance, and our secretaries will greet you as you enter and assist you with anything that you need. Down the hall from the main office is the guidance area. When students return back to school, if you need to see a school counselor, we have mailboxes, and you can put a note in your counselor's mailbox and he or she will call you out of class when convenient. For now, we just ask that you email your counselor directly, and that's the best way to get in touch with them. Here's a picture of our cafeteria. This was taken in the summertime, so we were waxing the floor that day, so there are no tables in the cafeteria. But from this picture, you can see how big it is. You can see we have natural sunlight coming in. You can see the lunch lines, or the doors for the lunch lines. We have 4 different lunches, and there are about 400 students per lunch, which there's plenty of space for each student during lunchtime. Here's one of the main hallways that runs right through the center of the building. Again, it's summertime, so please overlook our clutter. We're getting ready for the school year to start. but all of our students would be walking down this hallway, and you can see that the hallways are labeled. This is B hall, the next hall would be C hall, and then the one all the way down there would be D hall, and then it kind of flips to the other side. So the hallways are visibly marked and easy to find. And here's a picture of the other main hallway that runs parallel to the hallway we just saw. We do have lockers in the building, so when we return back to school, if you would like to be assigned a locker, you can just ask your teacher and you will be assigned one. Here's a picture of one of our classrooms. All of our classes, for the most part, look exactly the same. We have a smart board in every single room. The classrooms are very bright, so it makes for a very pleasant experience for our students when they return back to school. Here's a picture of our auditorium. This is where we would have school assemblies, or maybe we would have chorus concerts, maybe a drama production, or maybe the Miss Indian River pageant. You can see it's very bright, very beautiful, and we have lots of technology to enhance the experience. Here's what the main gym looks like. Again, you can see it's a beautiful gym, very well lit. This is where you'll have your PE classes, or you may come for a wrestling match or a volleyball game or maybe a basketball game. And of course, our media center, you can see that we have computers in the media center. We of course have books in the media center, but this will be available to you when we return to school. All right, we're ending up the presentation, so I wanted to turn my camera on for one last time with you. Just a couple of reminders. If you are enrolling a new student and your son or daughter has never been in a Chesapeake Public School before, you need to do the online registration process, and you can find that at www.cpschools.com. Just click on enrolling a new student. If your son or daughter has been in a Chesapeake Public School before at any time, even if it was 10 years ago, you do not do the online registration process. You would just give us a call at 757-578-7009 and we can set up an appointment for you. We look forward to working with you in the fall. We call ourselves the best kept secret in Chesapeake because our students have so many opportunities. We think you're going to love it here, and we'll see you soon. Have a great one.